So, hey, it's Bill Taylor again, Lifetime Pickleball. I'm here with Andrew Blosser, and we went through the warm-up routine with all the stretches. We wanted to do it again with someone that maybe is just a little older, has some limitations. You know, I've got the double knee replacement that happened recently. So here's how to take the same warm-up and adjust it to your level of ability to do these lessons. So Andrew's here to walk me through it at that level that, you know, I may be limited to.
So once again, 5 minutes of blood flow at the beginning, whether that's sauna, walking on the treadmill, maybe some dinking or skill development. That's even more vital if you're coming back from a knee injury. Myself, I had a knee reconstruction, so it's even more important that we get that blood flow going. Once you have that warm up, have a little bit of sweat going, we want to do world's greatest stretch. So once again, we're going to go for 10 on either side. So if you have limitations and we can't go all the way down, we just want to get into a stagger stance. From here, we want to reach the hips back, take the inside arm down to the leg, and arm is going to be straight. We're then going to, so this arm would be on the knee, other arm's going to be down to the ground. Now we want to reach up with that right hand up as high as we can, rotate all the way up, all the way back down. Once again, this back knee is off the ground, and we're supporting our body weight with our elbow, trying to reach up as high as we can. And like we spoke about with Dylan, we want to really engage this part. So we go for 10 to this side, then go ahead and stand up. We'll switch sides. We're going to replicate that. So whatever leg is up, that forearm goes down to the knee, reach up high, all the way back down, all the way up, reach to the sky. Try to engage between the shoulders, a little bit of squeeze. Good, Bill. Back down. We'll go one more. Reach up high and all the way back down. And obviously with it being called the world's greatest stretch, it is because a lot of the body is getting stretched in that position and we're able to mobilize a little bit. So ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, all the above.
Especially in pickleball, I mean, we come out, the warm-up that normally happens is just a couple minutes of dinking, and then we use that first game for a warm-up. This allows me to get my legs engaged with I press on. If you want to last through a tournament pickleball day, you've got to engage that lower body. You know, everybody wants to use all those arms, but then you get tired, that ball starts dropping down on the net. If you get your lower body involved from the very beginning of the day, you're going to last longer all the way through.
And what I always say with clients, whether it be on the fitness floor or with clients out on the court, is the power is going to come from the ground. So like Bill said, we're in contact with the ground. Our legs and hips need to be ready to go. Next, once again, focusing on the ground up, we have 10 hamstring scoops. So you're going to take your heel out in front, arms are going to be down. We're going to scoop down and forward, right back up. Trying to reach as low as we can. Whatever leg is out in front, we want that leg to be somewhat straight so we can reach the hips back, come all the way up. And we're going to 10 reps on the right leg. Let's say that was 10. Go ahead, switch legs. Now the left leg's gonna be out in front, reach the hips back, reaching down low, scooping up and through. Very nice. And you should feel a pretty big stretch from behind the knee all the way up into that glute. The lower we reach, we want a nice, smooth cycle through. Perfect.
And Dylan, who was in our last video, will tell you that he's working with me. You know, after that knee replacement 5 months ago, my calf is so tight that doing that dynamic stretch, not only here, but working with one of the pros upstairs to get those muscles back in shape, because you want to be back on the court as quickly as possible, but an injury on top of a repair, on top of an injury, you'll be out for a long, long time.
Exactly. And injuries, if not dealt with correctly, they're going to compound into future injuries. And then it takes longer to warm up, harder to hit certain shots. So it's best to set a good foundation for every day that you play. Next, we have 10 wall angels. So I'm going to have Bill come over here about 1 foot away from the wall. We're going to put our hips and shoulders against the wall and bring our arms up to 90 degrees. Think like a field goal post. From here, we want our hips and our shoulders against the wall, and we want to be able to have this lower back compressed. Last thing we want is to arch that out. We want to keep that connected to the wall. From here, trying to keep the elbows and the wrist to the wall. We want to push up as high as we can slowly, and then pull all the way back down. Very nice. So that would be 1 rep. So what we're looking for here is trying to slow, smooth, controlled. The higher we press, the more challenging it's going to be for this lower back to stay against the wall.
Surprising how you can feel that in your...
Yep. So think anything overhead, whether we're lifting weights or whether we're going for that overhead smash, we want to ensure that the abs, so the core and the lower back, can stay connected. As you can see, the higher we go, the more challenging and focused we have to be on that. So if we warm the body up here, we're even better when we get out onto the court. So let's say that was 10. So you go ahead and step off. Next, we have pogo hops. So this is one, if you have any ankle, knee, or hip issues, we want to ensure that we are very careful with this one, and we're good to go. Okay? Bill's going to be bringing over a chair.
I can probably do it on one side, but probably not the other.
Yep. So what we want to think about here is we can use a chair, you can use a fence or a wall. Realistically, what we want to do is before we would go forward and back, we just want to see if we can balance on that leg. And then once we get that balance, can we just bounce up and down? So just think single leg hops. And once again, if you need to, we can use another side. Perfect. And once you build up, let's say that was 10, you're good. And now we would go to the other side. And once again, make sure this is why we're warming up, because a lot of times we'll be in situations that if we're not warmed up, then we need to use the leg. You're good. And we need to use the leg when we're in gameplay. We're not going to have to stop the game and say, hey, I need to warm up. We're already warmed up prior to it. Okay. Once we have the stationary hops, we can move to front to back and side to side. So with that, once again, make sure that we're slow with it to start. Use the chair if needed, but we just want to think hop side to side, work on that lateral motion. And once again, we're just trying to wake up the entire body. That's good. Now we'll go to the other side. Use a chair or support if needed. But what we're looking to do is just get the body weight, not doing anything crazy, just simply leaving the ground and absorbing the energy back. That's perfect. Next, we have the kneeling T-spine rotation. So as you saw with Dylan, we can take our shoe off and rest down to the ground. But what I want to show with Bill is we're going to come over here to the wall. We're going to get into a lunge position. Instead of going down like we did for the world's greatest stretch, we're going to stay up nice and tall. Arms are going to be out, and then I'll show you from there. So whatever side of the body is closer to the wall, we want that leg to be back like Bill's showing. Okay. Arms are going to be up, parallel to the ground. Since the left leg is out in front, we want to reach back with this left hand and try to come all the way back to the wall if we can. Very nice, Bill. All the way back in. That would be 1 rep. So what we're looking for here is 10 reps, keeping the base. So once again, from the hips down to the ground, stationary. The only thing moving here should be the arm and the middle of the body. Trying to engage between the shoulders as we come back. Very nice. Let's say it was 10. Now we'll come up, face the other way. Once again, whatever side is closer to the wall, that side is back. Big reach back. Good. Keep it from the waist down. Try to keep it still. Much better. We're just trying to get the shoulders and the core connected, nice and warmed up before we get to the gameplay. Let's say that was 10. Lastly, Dylan showed the yoga squat hold. So here, a couple things I like to focus on. Let's say we have a support. As the yoga squat, once again, our goal there would be feet outside. We're trying to take the hips as low as we can. If this is not possible, use a chair, use a post, and what we want to do, make sure that the support does not move. We want to have the feet outside hip width, and we just want to push as low as we can. Think of trying to get the hips open up. Okay, so I'll actually probably have Bill come over here and use the pull.
Yeah, and you'll see that, you know, with all of my younger players that I'm on the kettlebell squats,
yep.
We're working on that because that lower body is where your power comes from. That lower body is where your stamina comes from. So we work on this a lot.
Yep.
Now, and that kettlebell helps you get to that paddle position. Again, now with 2 brand new knees, I'm not going to get down the same distance that Dylan did, or maybe you will, but you can feel it all the way across.
Oh yeah. And what we're looking to do here is hold for about a minute for multiple reasons. One, in this position, Bill's quads are going to start to feel it. Hamstrings, glutes, lower back, core, maybe even up here in the shoulders and mid-back. We're going to get a lot of tension from that isometric hold, and then the longer we hold it there, the more capable the hips are. And like we talked about multiple times, the hips, the legs is where the power is going to come from. So once again, that dynamic warm-up is just a great way to get the body ready for gameplay, to improve performance just a little bit, but then most importantly, stay injury-free and not need that first or second game to get the body going and waste that gameplay time.
Right. Appreciate it.
Yep, sounds good.
All right.